I got into this job because I wanted to save animals, literally rescue them.
We're the last line. If we can't do it, no one can. And we haven't walked away from a rescue yet.
We rescue animals that either belong to someone or don't. It could be a stray animal, it could be a wild animal, it could be your pet, your loved one, or it could be no one's. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate, we don't care. It's an animal and needs rescue, we rescue.
It's just super gratifying instantly because you see the animal owner's face, you see the animal's face. This is something that has to get done. Let's do it. And it almost always has a happy ending, so that always feels good.
If something did happen, I hope it'll happen to me.
I got you, Melly. Hold on.
I should be the best at what I do. I should be able to lead these people into battle and bring them back safely.
We have people here from all different walks of life, all different nationalities, and all different types of beliefs. Some people value animals, some people don't. Some people think we're absolutely stupid for putting ourselves at risk to rescue an animal, and some people think we're heroes.
They don't have a voice. And I'm pretty sure if they could talk and you heard those cries of desperation, I think anybody would say it's worth it.
S.M.A.R.T is our specialized mobile animal rescue team. They handle large and small animals that are in precarious positions where they need some type of assistance.
I think S.M.A.R.T's role in LA is to show people that the impossible is possible.
We have such a mix of terrain. We've got mountains, forests, oceans.
The city of Los Angeles is over 400 square miles, and the S.M.A.R.T team has approximately 11 members to care for the community the way that it does with the amount of resources that it has. It's pretty incredible. But it speaks about the heart that just a couple of people can do for a lot of folks.
We rescue animals that either belong to someone or don't. It could be a stray animal, it could be a wild animal, it could be your pet, your loved one, or it could be no one's. It doesn't matter. We don't discriminate, we don't care. It's an animal, it needs rescue, we rescue.
Specialized mobile animal rescue team, team leader.
All right, so you're an animal
search and rescue team.
What was the reasoning for bringing you guys in and putting you in the field today?
They wanted some expertise in animal handling, and we're one of the only teams that has not only that because we're animal services personnel, but also search and rescue, a technical rope, and swiftwater rescue certified. So we've got everything combined, so we were probably the best choice for this type of terrain, this type of mission.
It's the Higgins and Langley Award, and they give it out every year since 2004. They honor people in the swiftwater rescue community, and we're the only animal rescue team in the world that has ever won it. We're also the only team that is comprised solely of animal services personnel. We have 10 animal control officers and 1 registered vet technician. With anything that you really believe in, like I believe in what I do, it doesn't seem crazy to me. It just seems like it has to be done.
We will do anything and everything we can to rescue an animal. We'll go buy whatever it is we need. It's not unusual to go to the store and put down $500 on some equipment. We're willing to pull out of our own pockets. We don't make any money doing this. We don't get any type of hazard pay or anything like that. We just really believe in what we're doing. I can't see myself doing anything else.
Some people laugh. Some others, they say, oh my God, it's amazing. This team is bringing a lot of hope. And that's education. Educate people is the main thing for any culture and anything that you're trying to do. You need to educate people first. So people taking this as an example, it's how you teach, by example. One team would be able to make this better.
We get judged by others by how we treat our animals and our pets. And I think when we have a team like this to help the animals and help the people of Los Angeles, I think it just makes us seem we're really headed in the right direction, trying to become more humane.
I've seen what happens to animals, I've seen what people do to them, and I see the situations that they get into, and I take it personally. I want to be able to, if I have the ability to, I want to be able to be out there and help. I'm going to be dealing with animals probably until the day I die.
Grab those, and then get everybody here.
Someone help you, because it doesn't make sense. Move over here then, move over here, get between you and Ramon.
Smitty! It's okay, it's okay.
There we go.
Okay.
We're on.
My biggest fear is not being able to do the job. I broke my leg falling out of a tree. I was in the hospital for 4 days. We had to evacuate horses out of the area. I was frustrated to tears.
I just feel like it's my responsibility. I see a dog on the freeway, I feel like it's my responsibility to help that dog. I see an animal in a neglect situation, I feel like they don't have a voice. So that's what I'm there to do.
Every rescue that I've had on S.M.A.R.T has been successful.
There was one, it was a pelican, and it had fishing line wrapped around its leg, and I couldn't get the pelican where we needed it to catch it. And eventually I was so exhausted swimming around that place. It was rescued, but at that moment I wasn't able to do it.
There's lots of things that we as humans have caused for these animals. We'll build in areas and we will force animals to come into our city. It's only right for us to turn around and help them.
There are certain situations that are tragic, that didn't work out the way you expected them to work out. The sad endings, they do stick with you a little bit, but you can't let them get you down.
I would like to make this world a better place for all life, human and animal. And I think if I can help people through my teaching and my writing understand that animals matter, no matter where you look at it, if you're on the moral, the psychological, the individual, or the economic dimension, their lives matter, in addition to just mattering to them.
I've seen everything, from cobras to huge rattlesnakes to ostriches, elephants. LA has pretty much every kind of animal you can think of, and being in this job, we get a chance to see a lot of those.
I was working grave, 12 to 8 a.m. I get a call from Pee Wee Herman. He said there's a really beautiful buck, and he got his antlers caught in some clothesline. He was able to get around with that for a while, but eventually that clothesline got snagged on a sprinkler. And I get out there, I see the buck, he's just standing his ground, and he's like, fight or flight, and since I can't run, I'm stuck, I'm gonna fight.
We have a 100% success rate. We have a 100% safety rate, which if you see some of the things we've done, it's pretty impressive.
We're a reflection of the community, and I always prayed that I would see a difference in my lifetime. The beautiful thing is, being out there all the time, I'm reaching the younger generation, and they all have compassion.
S.M.A.R.T's road to LA, when LA realizes it, is gonna be like that golden ticket, that you can claim the fame that here's the one team that is doing what no one else is doing in the nation, and only one other team in the world is doing it.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he ripped it right out of the ground.
It's his second time.
You know, he really is the face of the team, but he's also the driving force behind the team and continues to make us wanting to excel and to do better.
If anybody else was in charge of the team other than Armando, it wouldn't even be around anymore because of the energy that he puts into this. It's nuts. I mean, it's 24/7 with him to keep it afloat, to keep it positive, to keep good PR, to make sure that nobody's getting burnt out.
He can do such amazing things. I don't see him slowing down or stopping anytime soon.
I'm proud to be working with him. He's done a lot that I couldn't even see myself beginning to do. You know, to start something from scratch on your own, that's hard to do within a city structure.
I got into this job because I wanted to save animals, literally rescue them. When I first got hired, we didn't do any rescues. We were given a catch pole, a pair of garden gloves, and a piece of rope, and that was your tools. And our old manual said that you shall go underneath houses to rescue live animals. You shouldn't climb trees for felines unless you had a plan. And that was it. We had this kitten, an unweaned kitten, one time between these two walls, and I tried desperately to get him out, but he was so wedged in, I couldn't get any type of equipment in there. I had two bosses, they came out there and said, well, you know, we'll call the fire department. They showed up in full ladder truck, the engine company, everybody, even the medics, even I think the cook, came out, and the captain looked at me and said, that's a brick wall, we're not gonna cut through it. So it was very troubling for me to be in this agency that I thought rescued animals, that we didn't do anything like that. And I thought, well, why don't we start our own team? What would it really take? I pitched it to the bosses at the time and told them, we need to have a search and rescue team for animals because no one's doing this. I listed all the calls I'd been on where I had to walk away and literally hope that someone else did it or the animal did get unstuck, knowing that it didn't happen. I got a big no because it was too expensive, too risky, and of course the famous words were, you know, just let the fire department do it. Well, being who I am, I wasn't gonna take that for my final answer and just go and pout and say I tried. I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this on my own. I knew nothing of rope skills, knew nothing of swiftwater skills. I did some pretty, by today's standards, stupid things with equipment that you wouldn't even use to, you know, tie a clothesline for your mom.
When we first started working together, I absolutely hated him. I could not stand him. I did not want to work with him. I did not want to be partnered with him.
And when she joined the department, I thought, wow, this girl's beautiful. I used to make t-shirts for all the people in the department. I remember making hers and I was like, oh, I gotta make hers perfect. You know, if I fuck them up, I'm gonna make a new batch out of my own pocket because I want her to look good. But she was married and I thought, yeah, can't do anything there. She went on the first rescue ever that we did as a sort of a team. This rescue was of a cat in a tree about 50 feet up, a pine tree. But it was off the roof of a building, you can access it. And the animal couldn't come down. And the lady was getting evicted and she was like, please help my cat. Nobody else could do it. We didn't have any climbing techniques, none of the equipment we have now, but I did have a harness and some Home Depot rope. So I called it in and she goes, what are you gonna do? I go, well, I'm gonna throw the rope through the tallest branch I can find. And then I'm gonna jump from the roof into the tree. And she said, no, you're not. You're not gonna jump off the roof. And then Hammer, voice of reason, you're not gonna jump off the roof. I go, okay, fine. I'll go down to the 4th floor and jump off the balcony. So she gets there and she's got this look on her face of fear. I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, I could picture you just jumping and just that rope snapping, you fall 50 feet.
Don't swing, just...
I gotta swing because I gotta get my momentum to go.
You're going to go that way. Because the rope is there.
Okay. Ready?
Put in the net.
Ready first.
Close it.
You got him. Got him.
We get the cat down safely, successfully, and we're all done. You know, we're cheering. And she's like, you know what? Don't ever call me again and tell me about this because you're not going to be jumping off things. I go, well, you know, that's what I do. If something did happen, I hope it'll happen to me. Only because I should be the best at what I do. I should be able to lead these people into battle and bring them back safely. I should be the one if there's going to be a new technique or new equipment tested out. I test it because I should read all the manuals. I should know how to do this like the back of my hand. I could do it with my eyes closed.
I think for the most part, I can reel him in on stuff like that where I don't think something's completely safe.
If I get careless and cocky and do something stupid, I think the team will learn from it. And I hope that if anything happens to me and I'm not in the picture, they continue because just because something like that happens, rescue teams all over the world have casualties. The #1 statistic of people dying in rescue operations are rescuers because they get complacent. They know how to do it. They've done it so many times. Or they don't do it enough.
I got you, Melly. Hold on.
When you feel claustrophobic, and it's happened a lot, we call it limited space rescue, whether it's an attic, a pipe, or under a house, you start to panic. I believe the way I get over it, you focus on the job at hand, the mission at hand, and that's to save that animal. Put your personal shit aside, put your fears aside, focus on what you're trained to do.
I'm terrified of ladders, I'm terrified of heights.
And that's been the highest on a rescue. If you ever watch her before she gets on a ladder, she's shaking and she's just breathing, deep breath, deep breaths, deep breaths.
I feel dizzy and I feel like I'm swaying and moving, but as long as I'm busy and doing something, I don't think about it.
When something now is no longer your primary objective, all the thoughts come into your head about what can go wrong and what you've seen on videos and what's happened to you in the past. I'm afraid of heights. I was up in a palm tree. The cat's name was Cookie. It was up in the tree for 6 days. We put one line of safety in the middle because we thought, what if this thing snaps with my weight, you know, like a toothpick? Then I'm gonna fall at least 20 feet, but I won't hit the ground, but I'm gonna swing and it hit something. So I get to the top and the tree, now it gets windy and the tree's rocking back and forth. And then at that point is where I think, holy shit, I'm up 75 feet. And I look down, which I shouldn't have, and I'm like, oh man, everybody looks small and I can see the roofs. So I'm rocking and then I'm trying to get the cat and all of a sudden I hear them say, he jumped. I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'm right here. And they're like, no, the cat jumped. I'm like, what? I'm getting down. I missed the spike into the tree and my leg slipped. And I was like, oh, getting them is one thing, but getting them out is the other thing. And then yourself. Technically, we still got it down because no one else was going out there. And it jumped, hit a tree branch, hit another tree, and took off running. The lady called me that night and sent me an iPhone video. Healthy, fine, microchip, and now it's an indoor cat. I'm not some weirdo who hears different things or can say animals can talk. But from what I've seen on this job and what I've seen on the rescues, I can imagine that cry being like, please, please just help me. I don't want to die here. I don't want to die in this horrible way, either drowning, being cooked alive, frozen to death,
starvation in a cold, dark place. I need someone to save me. And I think like that when I see these faces of these animals that aren't even mine. So for me to say I would risk everything and even dying for one of these unheard voices is worth it.
Gotcha. You're gonna live, okay? Hell is hell.
Yes, baby. Oh, he was almost such a goner.
Okay, David, let's get you out of here now. We're gonna get you out of here now. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay.
I couldn't sleep if my cat was sitting up in a tree crying. We've taken on this responsibility of them as our companion animals, and so it's our responsibility to make sure that you take care of them from birth to death and everything in between. No differently than a child or your parent or anybody else. You know, they're part of your family.
We're able to really provide a service to the owners of these animals to give them a sense of relief when we're able to get that animal out and give it back to them. I mean, that's just the best thing about this team. Not so much all the crazy training, you know, that's fun and everything, but just being able to get that animal and give it back to the owner. I mean, that's really one reason why we all do it, I think.
I have a cat, a kitten, a baby, up on the tree way up high. How many days, Eddie? 2 days? 2 days. I called the animal service. A lady came this morning. She looked up at the tree, crossed her arms, looked up and says, oh, well, when she gets hungry, she'll come down.
I went through like tree services, tree climbers, and they wanted to charge like $500 to come down, and you know, we just couldn't afford that.
My cat's been up here for about 3 days, and we called everybody. We didn't know what to do. I even asked neighbors to help us borrow ladders.
Just tell us the cat's name.
Well, the name is Justin.
And how long has it been missing for?
About a month, maybe, a month or so.
I couldn't find Molokai anywhere, and he had gotten out of the aviary through, it's still difficult to see how he got out, up the telephone pole.
It's just super gratifying instantly because you see the animal owner's face, you see the animal's face. This is something that has to get done. Let's do it. And it almost always has a happy ending, so that always feels good.
We have people here from all different walks of life, all different nationalities, and all different types of beliefs. Some people value animals, some people don't. Some people think we're absolutely stupid for putting ourselves at risk to rescue an animal, and some people think we're heroes.
These animal owners are not going to stand by and look at their dog over the edge of the cliff and go, darn it, I can't get to my dog. Or look at the cat in the tree and go, oh, he's been crying for 3 days. But what are you gonna do? These people put themselves in harm's way to get their family.
Recently we had an issue with some hikers whose dog fell over the cliff, and they went over the cliff with the dog. It ultimately does end up costing the city less to do animal rescue before there's a human involved.
Pepper, you're so soft.
Hey, Pepper.
I missed you so much, you silly.
Hey, Justin.
Oh, I'm so excited. I want to thank you guys so much. You guys are a real blessing. Real blessing.
Come on, Miss Gordon. Mom, Miss Gordon. There you go, big boy. What you do with your mama, huh?
I couldn't spread my wings and do 1,000 things that I have done before.
My pets have helped me get through a lot. My 2 dogs that I have right now, they've helped me get through a divorce. They have been there for me through so many things, thick and thin. They provide me unconditional love.
My pets, every day, I know it sounds corny, I tell them, if this house was burning, I would run in here and rescue all of you. I'd get charged, 3rd-degree burns, and not make it, but you would be rescued by me.
Gino is my companion. He passed away. I got separated from my ex-girlfriend 7 years ago, and he was basically, I got this baby when he was 4 months old. He was a bulldog. They have a really hard time in this weather. He just collapsed, and I couldn't bring him back. I'm sorry. When I go out and do a rescue, I think of my pets. I think of my Bruno, Gino, all the animals that I have lost in the past. And I see the people. And to bring this animal back to them, to me, is a cure, you know?